Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We have some rousing music.
That was
We're just
rousing.
going to continue with that stream as we sing together Hine Ma Tov.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Heveinu
Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom Alechem, Heveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem. Heveinu Shalom Alechem. So wonderful to be with you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is our Yom Ha'atzmaut Shabbat. We are celebrating Israel and Israel's independence and the fact of having a Jewish homeland returned after thousands of years, to be able to celebrate that reality. We are going to hear some Israeli songs as we're singing. Some of them, a little old-fashioned, it's true. But for some of us, a little bit nostalgic as well. And some beautiful poetry as well. And really trying to connect ourselves to that reality of Israel's existence. We welcome you on this beautiful, beautiful Shabbat.
And we welcome you into our living room. If there's anyone who has not joined us before, I'm Cantor Ida Ray Kahana.
I'm Rabbi Michael Kahana.
And we are just so happy that we can be together with you on this spring evening with the promise of all the warmth that the summer's going to bring to us. And so let's take a moment to share some of that warmth with each other, maybe with friends or with family, as has become our minhag, our custom, that we text a message or email to somebody that you love, wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Speaking of someone that I love. And send a little something to our family.
Send it around. It's really lovely, even sometimes if I'm not able to be part of services, that I later look and I see these wonderful texts of Shabbat Shalom. It really means something when you hear from each other. So
It truly
thank
does.
you.
And we're welcoming those who are joining us, all the many ways that people are coming to be a part of our service here at Congregation Beth Israel. Many of us on Zoom, many of us on Facebook Live, YouTube, all kinds of different ways. However you found us, we're very pleased that you did. You are part of our Kehillah Kadosha, our sacred community today. And as we enter into Shabbat after what has been here in Portland, a really, really beautiful week, going into a summertime weekend. It's a little bit strange here in April, but we're coming into Shabbat that will welcome us into a time of peace, into a time of reflection that will bring us, reinvigorate us, and bring us forward to the week ahead.
If you are lighting candles with us tonight, I'll invite you to find your lighter and your candles, and you can join us. The blessing is on page 2. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher
להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת.
And if you have grape juice or some nice wine around and you'd like to join us in Kiddush, please rise if you're able, page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri agafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shapar kodsho b'yahavov ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
If you're standing, you may be seated. We're going to begin by welcoming in the bride of Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemu echad, l'shemu tiferet v'nitila.
Lecha Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor ha'beracha merosh mikedim nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila.
Lecha Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, kivorech, kuliori, uri, uri, shitameri, kivod Adonai, alayich nigla.
Lecha Dodi likra kala
Likra kala,
b'nei Shabbat
b'nei Shabbat
nekabela. Lecha Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise if you're able, face the door.
Oy v'shalom, ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'sala, tochem monei u'b'segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha
Dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likra kala. Pene Shabbat. Nekabela. Lecha dodi. Likra kala. Pene Shabbat. Nekabela. Lecha dodi. Likra kala. Pene Shabbat. Nekabela.
We have welcomed the bride. We're going to take a moment to make sure that we acknowledge God's presence at all times, but especially right now as we're beginning our service. And so on page 27, we have a beautiful a beautiful poem that was set by a number of wonderful new set of Israeli songwriters. Lamdeni Elohai, teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf. So you can remain standing. Actually, we're going to go right from this into the call to prayer, into Baruch Hu. Lamdeni Elohai, Barech v'hitpalel, Asod lekamel, Al noga pri bashel, Al achirut azot nirod lachush ninshom, Vada'at leyachel lehikashel. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise. As each morning and night you renew our days. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Join us. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishberotehem, barakia kirtsono. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. You speak the evening into being.
Poem by the Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai. Out of 3 or 4 in the room, one is always standing at the window, forced to see the injustice amongst the thorns, the fires on the hills. And the people who left whole are brought home in the evening like small change. Out of 3 or 4 in the room, one is always standing at the window, hair dark above his thoughts, behind him the words wandering without luggage, hearts without provision, prophecies without water, big stones put there, standing, closed, like letters with no addresses, and no one to receive them.
We stand with our hearts open, and we listen and pray that our words reach the eternal. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We join with V'ahavta, page 336. Page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך,
למען תזכרו
ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We know that our song of redemption, Michamocha, sets us in a place in time that is eternal, that we're always reliving that sense of being the stranger and then that sense of exodus. And we come around to it time after time because it's always there in our service. And so it sensitizes us both to our own feelings of entrapment sometimes and also to the possibility for freedom, not just for us, but for all peoples. And on this Friday night, as we really take a moment to acknowledge the miracle that is the land of Israel, for all its, times that we're not always so proud, but we still have that love and that longing for this land. And so we sing the Michamocha tonight to the tune of Hatikva, the Israel national anthem. So you can join me. I'm sure you know this melody. Hymn of hope.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bukeyam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, zeili anu ve'yameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Zeili anu ve'yameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ashkivenu, L'Shalom.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter.
Let there be love
And understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter
from life's storms.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our
shelter from life's storms. Baruch atah Adonai apores sukat shalom aleinu va'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Amen.
Amen.
Turn to page 46 as we rise for tefillah.
Adonai,
Sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tilatecha.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחייר כל אתה רב להושיע.
מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ולידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. You are holy and your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal Open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Amen.
As we sanctify Shabbat and we declare this a sacred time, there is nothing more sacred than new life and all of the joy that that brings into our world. As many of you know, we've had the privilege over many years now to be able to welcome young families from Israel who are coming to Oregon to have children through surrogacy, mostly gay Israeli men who are not able to have that procedure in Israel, and have found Oregon to be a welcoming place, and have found Congregation Beth Israel to be a welcoming place to bring their children into Judaism, to take them to the mikveh and have that opportunity. 3 years ago, we had, probably all of you remember, we had this lovely moment where a beautiful family, dads Kfir and Yaniv, Benisha Weissman, brought their daughter Shai into our congregation, and we took her to the mikveh and we celebrated her. And now 3 years have passed. Shai is a big 3-year-old, but she has a brand new sister. So just a few days ago, we had the privilege of bringing a new baby into the family and taking her to the mikveh. She is just about 2 weeks old today. So it is really a pleasure to be able to welcome parents, Kfir and Yaniv, and their daughter.
Hey,
Here
Shabbat
they
Shalom.
are. Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat
Great to
Shalom.
see you
So
guys.
happy to be back. Shabbat Shalom.
We're so happy to have you. How's Oregon treating you?
Oh,
Amazing.
amazing.
As usual.
Thanks to you, we feel like home. You know, our family is so far away in the other side of the world. They're sleeping now. But thanks to you and your warm welcome, we feel that we have a family here. Us, Shai, and Lior, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We
you
are really
do.
happy. We are very, very happy to be your family here.
There are many surrogate grandparents sitting in our
You know,
congregation
yeah.
right now watching you with
Very,
love.
very excited. There's nothing better. So nice to see you guys and all that. Where's Lior?
I'll bring her.
Yes.
Bring her, bring her. She's the star of the show.
She's such a sleepy.
She's sleepy right now,
So
but
good.
she is.
She woke up like just in time to go into the water. She was like in the water. What's going on around here?
This is our baby Lior.
Oh,
Is it,
that
Booba?
little bunny.
Isn't
And
she?
such a good girl, and she sleep all day. And she's really, blessed. She's really good and healthy, and we're so happy.
Is it
Just like
bracha?
there's a bracha, just like all Oregon babies.
Yes.
This is how we grow them around here. We want to give you this blessing and welcome you to this Kehillah Kadoshah, which is very strange that we're all on our own computers in our own homes, but the blessing extends no matter where we are all together as community. Oh God, source of all life, we thank you for the countless blessings that you've given us. And we thank you especially for the sacred joy and privilege of parenthood, which adds profound meaning and purpose to your existence. Grateful for your gift of new life, Kfir and Yaniv have come into this Kehillah Kadoshah to thank you and to ask your guidance in the upbringing of their newborn daughter. Grant to these parents wisdom, patience, and devotion, that they may raise their daughter to live in accordance with your Torah. In this community, we give to this newly born child the name of Lior Bat Kfir V'Yaniv, and may it become a name honored in the household of Israel. Extend your shelter over her, O God. Give her love, health, and understanding. May she so grow and live as to become a blessing to her parents and family, to the Jewish people, and to all humanity. And we say,
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Abraham, Yitzchak, ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה. יברך את הילדה הרכה הזאת. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, bless this child with life and with health. May she be a joy to her parents. May she live to bring honor to the house of Israel, blessings to humanity, glory to the name of God. And we all say, Amen. The hardest
Amen.
part about this whole Zoom thing is that when we're in the sanctuary, I get to hold the baby when I give the blessings. And
Yeah.
it's so hard not to hold her. I just want to hold her. But
We remember.
we're going to make a circle of blessing to the three of you, and we're going to extend it to Shai back home. We miss her.
That we miss her so much.
I'm sure that you do. We do as well. But soon, she's going to see her baby sister. We extend to all of your family this bracha. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and shine through you. May God's face always be turned towards you. May God grant you great peace in a world at peace. And we all say, Amen. Mazel tov.
Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Of course.
You're very welcome. We're really thrilled to celebrate
Lehitraot,
with you.
we'll see
Lehitraot
you.
Baaretz.
Oh, little.
All right, we're going to take a quiet moment with this joy in our hearts and seeing that beautiful baby and that beautiful family. We'll take a moment of quiet prayer to open our hearts to God's blessings. May it extend to each of us wherever we are, and to feel that sense of presence and that joy of community. Take a moment to think of those in our community who are ill, and we extend to them prayers of healing and wholeness. If there's anyone in your life who you would like to send a prayer to, you can send it out. You don't have to unmute, even if you're by yourself. Just say the name out loud, and let our prayers for them come together and help them to find their way to healing and to wholeness.
Jenny Luria. In the waters. The generations, bless and heal all who are ill. May the love and mercy of Shekhinah ease the pain of all those in need. Heal the body, heal the soul. Give us a refuah shelema, a complete and speedy healing. And let us say,
Amen. We are in a beautiful time of counting as we have moved from Pesach and are approaching Shavuot, recognizing each day in this journey as we connect freedom coming from Exodus and coming into a place of responsibility as we stand at the foot of the mountain on Shavuot, making sure that each one of these days counts and is recognized and respected. Throughout the week, I hope that you've been seeing the videos that we've made with little small meditations about each day of the Omer and the Kabbalistic conjunctions that happen on each one of those days. Those are little gifts that we've wanted to share to you. But we're going to now ask you to please rise as we count the Omer for this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu asfirat haomer.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who's given us commandments and commanded us to count the Omer.
Hayom esrim yom shehem shnei shavuot v'shisha yamim la'omer.
Today is 20 days, which is 2 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Please be seated. The big vaccine success story, feel-good story of the week, front page news, warmed my heart when I saw it today. It came from Israel. It was a story of how the overwhelming crowds had returned to the old city of Jerusalem for the start of Ramadan, as it had been in the past, but as it had not been last year. The crowds who had to stay away, who weren't able to have the kind of celebration that Ramadan means for so many Muslims, had to be put on hold as everything else had to be put on hold throughout the year. But this year, because of the successful vaccination program that Israel had for all of its citizens, Ramadan is beginning to look as it had in the past. A return to normal. A return to normal. that Israel can hold up as an ideal. Normal for Israel is an incredible diversity of people, a celebration of real meaning, of connection to great history and to great modernity. As many of you have heard, one of my favorite experiences that I strive for anytime I'm in Jerusalem is to stand in front of the Kotel, not necessarily at the wall, but to stand in the plaza and to see this sacred site that Jews have turned towards for thousands of years, a dream that we couldn't approach, this very, very sacred spot of land. And to hear, as I stand there, as I listen to the prayers of Jews who keep the prayers going constantly at that spot, ultra-Orthodox Jews, modern Orthodox Jews, modern Jews, secular Jews, Jews from all over the world saying these ancient prayers. I hear on top of that sound, the sound of the Muslim call to prayer, as prayers are being held at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the most sacred sites in all of Islam. And on top of that sound are the sounds of the church bells from the Villa Dolorosa, one of the most sacred sites in all of Christendom. And to hear those sounds resounding together, that moment when I hear those sounds is when I know that I'm home, when I feel that experience. When we, in America, when we hear about Israel, it's often connected with strife, with problems, with elections lately, a lot of that. But we forget because we don't go often enough, we don't connect often enough, we're not there, we don't hear it, we don't smell it, we don't touch the ancient stones that Jews have touched for thousands upon thousands of years. We don't walk the path of Torah that originated in this land. We forget. And it's easy. We've got our own concerns. We've got a lot going on in our lives. This time of pandemic, especially, it's hard to look beyond your walls. But it's important to remember that we live in a remarkable era, an era that our Jewish ancestors could only have dreamed about, the ideal of a Jewish state, a homeland for the Jewish people, a return of a native people to its native soil. And recognizing that there are other people who are also natives to that land and have their own history and their own difficult journey and their own problems, some of which we've caused. We recognize that we are together on this land, even when we struggle with each other, as Jacob and Esau struggled with each other. We still hear those same prayers being called out. We still have a love of this land and our history on this land and our ideals of what the future can bring. There are people we know, there are always extremists. There are always those who hate. There are always those who want to tear down and not build up. But Israel is a state of building. It is a state that is ultra-modern, that is creating new technologies that we feel in America, and we share technologies together. It is in the forefront of biomedical research. It is a place that is living and breathing and dynamic. It's not captured in textbooks. It is alive. And when we see a baby born in Oregon and about to return to her family, eagerly waiting to embrace her in Israel, and knowing that we've helped to bring her into the Jewish people and connected across the ocean, brought together in this moment. There is something powerful about that connection. Kol Yisrael Arvim Zeh Bazeh. All of Israel, all of the Jewish people are connected. We're responsible for each other. We pay attention to each other. We recognize the needs of each other. We don't always agree with each other. Do Jews ever agree? We don't agree with our family. We struggle, we fight, we have our problems, but we're family. And in the end, that's the most important thing. We are a family. We care about and we care for each other. We just celebrated Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's independence, the ideal of a people creating their homeland, creating a place that is a part of us as well here in America. We as Jews have that connection. It is part of this gift of being a worldwide Jewry and recognizing that Israel brings a living language which we participate in. Israel brings a culture, music, food, dance, literature. That is also a part of our experience. It's in our prayers. It's in our music. It's in the music we teach to our children when they go to camp or when they pray in our religious school. We are connected. On this Yom Ha'atzmaut, the Shabbat of Yom Ha'atzmaut, as we recognize these worldwide connections, may we hold on to the ideal of Israel. May we hold on to the reality of Israel. May we celebrate this accomplishment. Something that we've dreamed about every year on Pesach when we say next year in Jerusalem. Maybe as we begin to open up and the world begins to open up again and people get on airplanes. You may have forgotten what an airplane is. It's one of those big metal things and it flies in the air. May we take our opportunities to go and visit our family, to see Israel, not through the lens of a newspaper, but through opened eyes, to see Israel in its complexity as a real nation with real people, real struggles, just as we are a complex nation with real people and real struggles. We also don't always live up to our ideals, but we have a dream of what we can be. Israel is also a part of our Jewish dream. May it be in our hearts. May we feel its soil. May we touch its stones. May we embrace our family in Israel as well. Shabbat Shalom. We turn back in our prayer books as we turn to page
282.
282. I actually know that page. Turn to page 282. We rise. Freilino.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We honor the memories of those in our community who have recently died. Lindsay Hornblass, Susan Ruth Corey, Richard Seidman, John Gevertz, Marcus Irving Gilden. And we honor the memories of those whose Yortzites, the anniversary of their passing, occurs during this time. Edith Alexander, Sidney Anton, Frank Bank, Zerlene Blattner, Harriet Bodner, Louis S. Bud Brenner, Nathan Brodat, Barry Cantor, Barbara Cartwright, Shelby Clark, Bertrand H. Constantine, Alvin Donald Davis, Jacob J. Enkles, Mark Feidelson, Samuel Joshua Felder, Harry Fishback, Connie J. Frisch, Charlotte Galton, Harriet Garber, Sidney Garfield, Harold Helfond, Sadie Hellman, Judy Rogel Hitchcocks, Malcolm Harold Call, Leslie Eileen Kaufman, Gloria Klar, Ellen Kalansky, Morris Kanowski, Helen Lockman, Enid Latner, Hannah E. Lewis, Regina Light, Carl Lobliner, Leon Maniloff, Miriam Cohen Margolis, Ronald Mayton, Essie Mayton, Peter Maget, Samuel T. Mayer, Rose Naftalin, Gershon Newberger, Miriam Newelt, Pearl Pat Orr, Carol Rogat, Gary W. Samuels, Pearl Schlesinger, Morris Schnitzer, Mildred Marcus Schnitzer, Ruth Ellen Semler, Joseph Sears, Sam Shapiro, Evelyn Shapiro, Jerome S. Stolzoff, Jean Marie Strauss, Wanda Sullivan, John F. Jack Tarpey, Roy Troyhoff, Ralph Weintraub, Dorothy Weisfield, Harold F. Wendell, Harry W. Zavin, Jerome Zeidman, Milton Zell, Ivy Zeilen, Monty Zeilen. If anyone else is honoring a Yortzeit and you'd like to share their name with us, please do so now. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled. As we turn to page 294, we rise, and together we say the words of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chaye echon v'yom echon, Uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, Leolam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, Shemei dekudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlam araba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all the people Israel, and to all of the world. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. Mazel Tov once again, Kfir and Yaniv, and to all of your family back home who are eagerly awaiting you. So glad that we could have this moment with you, and welcome again to everybody who's there. we have some announcements?
Well, I know that we do have Mitzvah Day coming up
do have Mitzvah Day.
on May 16th, and I don't think it's too early to start getting ready for that. Our Mitzvah Day this year is going to be pretty extraordinary, so watch for announcements about it, because there are ways that you can sign up and you can do things either on your own and from the safety of your home, or you can get together in safe, physically distanced ways with people. And then we're going to kind of flow right from Mitzvah Day into Shavuot, just a wonderful little celebration in different areas around town, outside also. So do watch for that. I think that's going to be such a special day. We'll na'aseh v'nishma. We will do the mitzvah of whatever it is we're doing out in the community, and then we'll listen and hear the words of the Ten Commandments.
And
So,
wherever we'll
beautiful
be in all of our different places all over town. They all have views of the mountain. So we'll be standing at the foot of the mountain, even if we're not right there, but we'll be able to see it and recall in our minds the inspiration of Shavuot.
I think before that, there's a special Earth Day.
There are
Shabbat.
many things that are coming. Yes, next Friday night, immediately following Earth Day on Thursday, we're going to have a special Earth Day Shabbat. I'm going to be interviewing my very good friend, Professor Camille Parmesan, who is a biologist and an expert in climate change as it affects biological systems. Going to be a really fascinating conversation, and we'll have some other projects and things centered around climate change and Earth Day. So you'll want to be a part of that service. It'll be really lovely. And before that, tomorrow morning, Torah study, as always, online, and Shabbat morning services, which Cantor will be leading at 10:30, again online. Everything, those of you who are on Zoom, Chelsea has put the link there, but if you're not seeing us on Zoom, you can go to the temple's website and find links to all of our programs.
So we don't thank Chelsea enough. So thank you, Chelsea,
Thank you,
for all
Chelsea.
you do. For all of our support staff, these services would not happen without them. And they're there with you, also helping to guide you through them. So it really takes a real village to get this all going, and here we are. And speaking of that village, we want to remind all of you that are part of our community that we're here for you. If there is anything that you're going through or experiencing in your life and you just would like someone to talk to, that's why we're here. Please don't ever hesitate. We used to set up some different days of the week where we would have office hours, but honestly, anytime you need a word with a rabbi or a cantor, do give us a call. We are here for you, Congregation Beth Israel. So we're going to conclude our service tonight by singing Bashana Haba'ah, which is a song that many of us know from camp. Very fun, page 348. We'll sing the first and third, I think. There we go. Ready?
Bashana Haba'ah, Nesheva Mirtaslet V'Nizmor Tzipori Nodedot Yeladim Bachusha Yisachakut Tofeset Ben Avayim Beben Asado Otire Kama Tov Yeh Bashana Haba'ah Otire Kama Tov Yeh Bashana Haba'ah Bashana Haba'ah Nifroס כפות ידיים מול האור העתיקה הלבן לבנה תפרוס באור כנפיים והשמש תזרח ברוחן עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Thank you
Shabbat
for being
shalom.
with us.
Next year, we will spread our hands toward the radiant light. A white heron will spread her wings in the light as the sun shines through them. What a beautiful poem to end this wonderful celebration of Shabbat and of the land of Israel and of each other. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves now if you want to wish everybody Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.